I'm Jason. I'm a 35-year-old recovering drug addict. Was born with a birth defect. That is a big contributor to my story. I grew up just about like any other middle-class child. I had a family who loved me, but from the time I was very young, I felt different. And you can look at me and physically see that comparatively to most kids, I did look different, but I just never felt like my disability is what made me different. I grew up and I participated in athletics. I taught myself how to do a lot of things that people didn't think that I would be able to do. But even through all that, I always was a loner. I went to school and I came home and kind of stuck to myself. I didn't really have friends outside of the school building. Started using drugs at the age of 15, and the first time I used, it felt like the world lifted off my shoulders and I could finally breathe, and I felt like I had arrived. I didn't have that fear of being alone or feeling different from other kids, and that's kind of where my life totally changed. I started drinking and using on a daily basis at the age of 15, and that went on for 17 years. My grandpa, who was probably the most influential person in my life, was my childhood idol, my hero. He was a preacher. He used to ask me when I was growing up, "Jason, it's okay to be mad or question God." But I just never felt comfortable with bringing those questions that I had inside. But the years of just holding on to that anger and that hate, that's probably what weighed me down for so long, that took me to the depths of where I'd gotten. But my grandpa passed away in 2010, and it was just another point in my life to where I got mad. I started using and taking pills and smoking meth and just anything and everything that I could get that would change how I felt, I would put in my body. And that's what I did for the next year, and it took me to some even darker places, and I ended up finding myself in prison. I got out of prison, and it was probably 2 months before I was back to doing the same things that I was doing before. And then in the summer of 2012, I reached a point of desperation to where I had a fear of dying and the fear of staying and living the same existence were almost equal. I either knew I was gonna die or I knew I'd never get any better, that this was just gonna be how my life was gonna be. And it was the first point in my life to where I really broke down, and I asked for help, and ended up at a treatment center in Purcell, Oklahoma, a place called Rob's Ranch in 2012, the summer of 2012. And the first day I was in treatment, one of the counselors asked me, he said, "Jason, you seem like you're carrying around a lot of anger." And I wasn't aware of it. I didn't think that I had that people seen that when they met me, but it kind of shocked me, and I broke down. I said, "Yeah, I hate God. I feel like it's His fault for everything that I've gone through." Although that was one of the hardest things that I've ever done, I think that was the first time in my life to where I got real and I got honest, and come to find out God's okay with me having those questions. Then I don't have to be ashamed of or scared of the feelings that I have, that I know that I'm not the only one that feels like this. regardless of the situation. Everybody has dark times, but with the power of God in my life, the people that truly love and care for me and want to see good in my life's abundantly blessed. Broken, imprisoned, alone, scared, happy, blessed, free, not alone. That's my story.